What's up, everybody? Yes, that's right. It's that time of the week again, bitch. It's time for another episode of Old School New School Comedy Podcast. And I am your shit-talking host, Christy Miller. And with me this week on Old School New School Comedy, I have one of my oldest and dearest friends in the entire universe. I love this man more than anything. He has been such a close friend of mine forever since back in the old days, in my Comedy Store days. And that's where he still reigns. And you may have seen him on the Jellies on Adult Swim. And he was also part of the first generation of Roast Battle. He's hilarious. I love him. Give it up for Earl Skakel.
Just trying to not move. I think if I stay still, the Wi-Fi doesn't go out. So
nice.
I mean, you know where I live.
I know. Everybody's downloading Grindr.
I mean, West Hollywood is the worst. I can't wait to get out of here.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I mean, I've been told that I can sell my condo for about 1.1 million.
That's it?
And well, that's a lot for where I live. And the realtor's like, here are the homes you can afford. They're all in Compton.
Oh, holla.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
Oh, stick with the cocksuckers.
Yes. This
yes.
would be me. This would be my neighbor if I went to Compton.
Yeah. Too bad he's dead.
Well, they treated him about as good as they treat us in the comedy world.
That's true. But we don't get slammed around as much topless as they do. Or do we?
Almost.
Earl Skakel, I fucking love you so much.
I love you. I talk about you often with people, and you know, we were there in the early days of LA comedy. And
yep.
It's not the same out here.
Nope, it's not. It's not the same out here either. Like, it's changed a lot in New York.
Sorry, I sat on my glasses, so they're a little crooked. I have to, I'm a wreck right now. I have to. There we go.
You're fine.
I mean, I miss the. I mean, we're both more successful now, but I do miss the early days when it wasn't so much about making it.
I talk about those days all the time because it was such an era of comedy, because it was the dark days. Like, you know, getting people out to shows was a pain in the ass. You know, the clubs were suffering. And, you know, but we were still a family. We were a tribe. And we created all these rooms and all these different ways of performing stand-up besides at the main club. And we just became this totally, like, tight-knit tribe that were part of that one era of the Comedy Store where we're like bonded for life. And I don't feel that anywhere else here in New York. That same.
I mean, I don't feel it out here. I mean, I felt it in the early days of Roast Battle, which was like the little show, and you would have been great on it. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, no one thought the show would get on TV, so it was just a bunch of idiots fucking around.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the industry had passed on the show for 2 years.
Sure.
Basically, it was like, who's going to watch a bunch of open micers make fun of who they fucked?
The world.
Well, I mean, I get what they were saying.
Yeah.
You know, like it's too inside baseball, and
yeah.
But it just worked when you had, because everyone in the room had fucked everyone. So
hilarious.
You had this great sexual energy to the show of two people were dating, but one of them had fucked 2 of the 3 judges. So
that's how you win. Yeah, well, that's how you win, honey.
And if you were cheating, it would get exposed in the room. And
fuck yes.
So It was like the Gong Show meets a Dean Martin roast.
Or the Gong Show meets Dean Martin meets Jerry Springer.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there were some definite Jerry Springer moments in that room. And,
funny.
But then once we got back from Montreal after my season, I could tell the vibe of the room had changed. Like, because you had, like, alt comics hated the show.
They hated everything anyway when we were there coming up.
Yeah, I mean, they've always, I don't know if the Comedy Store, it was not liked by alternative comics.
No.
And especially Roast Battle, because it was, I mean, Roast Battle is a pretty hacky show. It's basically bullying people.
Yeah.
You know, how do I make fun of Christy for being muscular? How do I make fun of Earl for being old? Or whatever. How do I make fun of this guy for being bald or this girl for being fat? I mean, it was
it's
really
all it's all that surfacey, like, obvious shit. It's like it's so bad because it becomes the same joke after a while. Like, it's the same. Oh, get it? Yeah, I'm muscular. I look like a dude. Earl's old and he takes his shirt off. I get it. You know, like, it's like, okay, how many times can you recycle the same fucking joke?
Oh, 100%. You know, if I were battling today, I'm sure it would be like, hey, Earl, you're just like Bert Kreischer, but without the success, or whatever. So, and I'm too real for the show, because, you know, if I was battling a rapist, I would talk about what they did.
Oh, yeah. You and I are the same. We go right for that jugular. We don't give a fuck.
Oh, 100%. And then I think Comedy Central, that's maybe why they didn't use me anymore.
They're like, there's too many rapists on the staff. You can't come in here, Earl.
Oh, I know. I mean, I battled this one fat dude who, you know, everyone knew in the room had fucked an underage girl. And the producer of the show is like, hey, you can't body shame him like that. I'm like, he fucked a 16-year-old. Like, what? How am I the bad guy? So it's okay to make fun of Ralphie May for being 700 pounds, but you know, that was real cool.
Oh, of course.
So, but the only reason I brought that up was because I missed the early days of that show and the Comedy Store, when none of us were trying to get on TV at that time.
Yes.
You know,
we were just trying to get on stage at that time. We didn't even think about television.
Yeah, so there was a genuine rooting for you, and I know you rooted for me, and I rooted for I don't know, Eric Marino, and he rooted for this whoever, and you know, we just did the shittiest of rooms, Mike Taylor's shitty room, and on Melrose.
Oh God, yeah, and then Mike Taylor and Steve Watson's Giggles and Jiggles show we used to do at the Cheetah. We did it at the Roxy. We did it at the Beverly Club. Any strip joint that would let us tell jokes.
Yeah, I mean, we would coconut teaser.
Oh, I missed the teaser. Those were fun nights of just ridiculousness.
Otis, the sound guy on heroin.
That's his name. Yes, I was like, what the fuck's the sound guy's name? Otis. A white dude named Otis.
But back then, it wasn't about how many followers does Christy have, or how many does Earl have, or how many views does either one of our podcasts. You know, now it's just the business has changed.
Yeah, it's like back then we didn't have social media to get ourselves out there. It was by word of mouth. So you had to be good. Like you had to throw down, and that's how you got gigs.
Oh, 100%. And like you opened up for, you know, obviously Dice and Mooney, and you know, I was with Schneider, and like you had to be funny to open up for those people.
Mooney didn't take anybody. You know, when he loved you, and I was honored. Did it help my career? No, it actually hindered it a little bit, because Hollywood back then was so scared of him. So like the shit Cat Williams is doing now, outing everybody, Pat did it the smart way, the way I used to yell at Mooney. I would tell Mooney, get your money, then cuss people out, then call them out. Get paid first. Don't do it at the table. Don't do it at the meetings. Get paid, then fucking call them out. That way you get cash. But he could never bite his tongue.
I get it, though. I mean, I know I'd be a lot farther along if I could just bite my tongue and not say what I've said about certain people. And, but I can't. I just can't.
Well, for me, it was like I was guilty by association out here. And they're like, oh, you opened for Paul Mooney all those years? Yeah, you're going to be too rough for our rooms. And I was like, what? Are you kidding? But whatever. Because they were all scared of him.
Well, he kept it real. I'll be honest with you. You know, and Dice, obviously, I'm sure is...
Oh, I love opening for Dice. I love it when Eleanor has other shit to do.
But, you know, he's a... what would you call it? Divisive figure at times.
Yeah.
You know, with I mean, I think he's a comedy legend. I mean, just like, but so you get roped in with them, and then it's like, well, we can't use them. They cuss too much. It's like, no, Dice cusses. I don't cuss. Or whatever. So, you know, just I do miss the old days. When you had to be funny. Like now you don't have to be funny. You can just have to have
followers. 100%. Like Earl, if you came to New York and saw the shit that's going on here, you would probably have a small stroke and be paralyzed for about 8 months.
Well, I see it out here. I don't have to go to New York. I can go to 8433 Sunset and see it.
Oh, can't do it. You know, Eric Marino and I always quote you. We always do our Earl impression. Like if something happens, I can't do it. I'm like, can't do it, bro. Can't do it.
I mean, because I'm sure it's the same in New York, but now the big thing out here is you get past at clubs or you get on good shows. Because you have a popular podcast, and that doesn't translate to on stage. You know,
nope.
Like, you know, we're doing this podcast tonight. People probably think it's funny because you and I have good banter. Yeah. But it's free. Like, you know.
Yeah.
People can sit in their underwear and watch it and go, okay, this is funny. But if you and I were co-headlining or I'm opening for you or whatever, it's another thing to get people to pay $20 to park. 40 for a ticket or whatever the ticket would be. Yeah. 2 drinks. And so now you and I are funny enough to get people to do that, but
yes,
you know,
but it's some of the, keep going. Sorry.
No, I mean, some of these people I see, you know, they're on stage and they're trying to basically do a podcast on stage. It's like, no, they won't. They want to hear jokes, man.
Yeah, dude, it's like I kind of hate all the clubs right now because of what's happening. It's a huge, everything's in turmoil out here, and I know it's probably the same in LA. So I prefer to do independent shows, like off the beaten path shows. Like tomorrow night, I'm going to Long Island. I'm doing a spot for $100 with my buddy Matt Vita. He's like the newer generation, but he's really funny. I love this guy. And he goes, Miller, I'm going to pick you up. We're going to fucking Long Island. He's like, it's a gig. Let's do it. It's $100. It's quick. But I have more fun doing those than I do city spots because A, I get longer sets. And B, it's the salt of the earth. It's real audiences that aren't like jaded or wishing that they were on stage and have the camera turned on them. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course. I mean, you know, I guess right now I pretty much, as Kevin Brennan would say, Skakel only plays the store. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a slam.
But, way to build me up, asshole.
Well, I like him. You talk about divisive figures. He's definitely
he is so divisive. He is so divisive. But, you know, God bless him. He's a mess.
I like his honesty, you know. Like, you know, say what you will about his... the way he his style, but you know, he says what he genuinely feels.
Yeah, you know what I always tell people? You know, I might not like a lot of these comics, but you know what? There's a lid for every pot. So,
100%.
You know, it might not be my cup of tea, but it could be somebody else's. So who the fuck am I to say what's subjectively funny or not? I just know what's subjective to me. And you know what I mean? Like, so, and people take to me like, oh, she's rough. Like she doesn't give a fuck up on stage. And I fucking roast the room. I'll fucking just, you know, do what I do. And then, you know, some people find me offensive. You know, it's like, it's a whole domino effect. So I don't, you know, God bless Kevin. I want all of us to be successful. I want us all to work. I want us all to be sitting at the table eating, because why not?
Well, that was my thing with Roast Battle, like, and why I spoke out about certain behaviors on the show. There's enough cake for all of us to eat. Like,
yeah.
You know, so I just never understood that, hey, let's try and F someone who's been on the show from day one. Let's do what he does, but not use him.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Or in the comedy world.
Yep. I get that a lot. Well, she's a bit much because she tells it like it is. So we got to find someone that acts like her.
Yeah, but not use Christy. Well, there's no one like Christy. So how about use Christy?
Yeah. Like, there's no one built like me, talks like me, or acts like me. And it's like, and they can't duplicate it. They've tried. They can't.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and same with you. They can't duplicate you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a cross between Holtzman and Bert Kreischer. Like,
yeah, you're Bert Holtzman.
got the leather pants on and all that bullshit. And
oh, it's great.
I mean, it's just who I wear leather pants anyway, so it's really not a character. It's just me.
Right. You wear my old pants I used to wear.
Oh, I totally would wear some of your outfits.
Right.
But like, you know, I don't nowadays. It's just, even when I signed with my voiceover agent, and they're the top agent in the country,
right?
Even their first question was, "How many followers do you have?" And I'm like,
"Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's a voiceover agency. What does that matter?" But I get what they're saying. They want people who are working and, you know, whatever, popular. But
yeah, if they have a popular voice, then the people are going to buy that product or tune into whatever that is.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
it's gross. It's so gross. It's so, I can't wait till the bubble explodes. But
well,
like,
I do think that Kat and that interview, I think it was a good beginning for people like you and me who do keep it real.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people criticize Joe Rogan on a podcast? Nobody. And calling him out for, well, he only books 6 unfunny comics. I
was dead.
But even Joe appreciated it. He was like, "Hey, come on."
Yeah. Come on the show, bro. Yeah.
I mean, I can't say Shannon Sharp was a great interviewer because Kat kind of just took over, but
Shannon was in the room. Kat did all the talking.
But good for Shannon. I mean, it's probably
47 million views.
That's crazy. I mean,
insane.
When I do a live stream, or sometimes I'll do a podcast like this, I'm happy if I get 500 views.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, people, I'm happy if I get 5 views.
Yeah, I mean, I do my live streams, you know, I can get monetized now, and I'm happy. Like, I just did one before this. I had 27 people in chat. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Nice.
And I think on Shannon Sharp's live stream, I don't know if it was the original or the repeat, they had 40,000 people in the chat room. And I was happy I had 27.
Oh, I'd be happy with 7 at this point. Like, I'm just happy somebody likes me. That's all I get. I'm like, hey, you know? But like I was talking to Pescatelli, and we're on the phone a few months back, and we were laughing because I was like, yeah, it's fun because maybe like a year ago. I don't even remember. Time is so. Ever since 2020, I have no concept of time.
I know. Like,
everything's a blur, so I can't tell you a month or a year anymore. We're we're on the phone, and she's laughing because I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool when I go on stage, all the comics come running into the room to watch. I said, that's kind of, I go, it's kind of funny. It reminds me of the old days at the store. And she starts laughing. She goes, you're the Brian Holtzman of New York. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of am.
I mean, Holtzman is, I don't like doing other people's material, but like, he has a chunk of new material about going to see Oppenheimer. That is.
I got to get Holtzman on the podcast. I got to get him on.
I mean, he's taking over Austin right now. So
I see that. I'm so proud of him.
But his Oppenheimer material is really out there. Like,
fucking hilarious. Oh my God. Holtzman makes me pee. When I used to do pre-COVID, I used to do a Saturday 11 o'clock show at West Side Comedy Club. And, you know, it was the Wild Wild West at West Side. So I like to book comics that are completely, you know, off the rails. You know, something that mainstream or the happy 8 o'clock show doesn't see, you know?
Right.
So I'd have me, and I'd have Eric Marino host it for me and babysit because I had other shit to deal with. I'd get like Dante Nero, Gino Bisconti, me. I had Holtzman was in town, and he calls me. He goes, "Hey, I'm in New York," you know, and I go, "Oh, you coming to do my show?" And he goes, "Yeah," and I go, "Yeah, I'm booking you for Saturday. It's perfect timing." So he comes in, and he just goes off the rails, and Gino and I are in the back in tears, and like I'm like, this is my Holtzman, this is my baby, you know. And Gino never heard of him before. Gino is on the ground going, "Who is this guy?" And I go, "Dude, that's a Comedy Store legend. You have no idea." And it was so, but he was like, this little girl in the audience comes up to me, and she goes, "Who was the guy that was yelling with the pompadour and his pants were pulled up?" I go, "Oh, right." She goes, "Can I have his Instagram? I am obsessed." And I'm like, see, just got to get people like us that are different just in front of people because we're awesome.
I mean, my favorite thing to do is go in there and watch Holtzman and watch the couples who are there on a date. Because the guy is, you can tell the guy wants to laugh, but you know, when he does his, yeah, you can't laugh at some of the things Brian's saying, and sometimes the girls love him. Like, but he has one joke about weather girls and LA news channels, and
oh, shit.
That's the one that separates the fans from the non-fans.
Oh yeah.
And I can't do the joke justice. It's like a 7-minute chunk, but he's basically calling all the weather girls on LA TV whores, and you know, he's like, "I don't care what the weather's like in the Inland Empire. Show me your pussy, bitch." And I don't care what the wind is. I don't have a fucking sailboat. Show me those fat jugs. And it's just like, I'm not doing it justice, but like,
no, but you're saying it. I'm hearing. I can see him saying it, and his face and his mouth go. You know, he's
yeah,
just like,
laugh if you can.
You cross the line.
I mean, the best is when Adam Egat, the old booker, he put him on one night in the original room at like 10:45, like prime time,
right?
Like, you know, like where D'Elia would have gone up, you know.
Right. But that was Holtzman's old time slots with Mitzi.
Well, I mean, he was crushing, like a sold out room. You know how the OR is. It's packed. Basically standing room only until he called this one girl a bitch. And her boyfriend was like, "Fuck you, man." He's like, "You're a bitch too, bitch." And like, it was just like, you have to see him live. It just
everybody out there, you got to go see Brian Holtzman live, please.
And if you're in Austin, I think he's there now.
Is he? Yeah, because he's there like once a month, right? At the Mothership.
Yeah, he's killing it at the Mothership, and I mean, there's just too many people I don't like in Austin. I went there once. I was like, I didn't like you people in LA. Why did I come here?
I know everybody moved to even some shitty New York comics went to Austin.
Well, they all think Rogan's going to help them. It's like the line is at capacity at Joe's ass. So
it was at capacity before COVID. You really
think
you're gonna get in? Fuck out of here.
Unless you're Hinchcliffe or Red Band or Bert and Ari and Duncan.
Yeah, forget it.
Schaub, I guess.
Joey Diaz.
Yeah, and they all deserve it. Like they were there. He ain't helping you. And, being I don't know. So I don't think I would go back. I didn't really. I mean, I enjoyed seeing Adam and Red Band, but that's about it.
Right. I haven't seen Red Band in forever.
I mean, he's like the most underrated person maybe in the history of comedy with what he, without him, there's no Rogan, in my opinion.
Yep. No, it's true.
In terms of, if Red Band doesn't tape that night at the store with Mencia,
there's no Rogan. Knows? Yeah, there's no, And also, because remember when Rogan started his podcast, it was him on a laptop with what's his face sitting on his couch.
Yeah.
House, staring at the camera, at the computer camera, and they're just sitting on the couch talking on a laptop. And now it's like, it's worldwide. He's like Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide of podcasts.
I mean, I mean, he's arguably the number one comic, for sure the number one podcaster. Like, and I don't know if he gets there without Red Band.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
So, because
Red Band was Red Band was like the bass player and drummer for that. He kept that rhythm
100%.
going. He kept that whole thing together because Joe wouldn't have known what to do. He's a performer. He's not like a tech guy, and Red Band did all that shit for him.
Oh, I mean, I mean, look at me. I probably should be more known. I won't say this about you, but I probably could. I should be more known, but technically, I'm a wreck. I mean, look at my background. It's my kitchen. Got a fucking FedEx box. I don't even know which side the unopened. I mean, you think Rogan would have an unopened or an open postal office box? And like, I do like my red neon sign, though. I
love your Earl sign. That's amazing.
I will say that was worth every penny of the $500 I paid for that.
It's so worth $500. It's worth more. That's fucking amazing.
I've got a Sting mask that's lopsided.
Listen, I'm in my bedroom with a green screen. So,
yeah, but it looks great. And,
thank you.
The thing you have scrolling down to follow Christy Miller and Old School. Yep. I would be happy if I could get that on my screen.
Well, listen, in lockdown, that's what I did. I sat at a computer and I taught myself every streaming system. I learned every editing tool, and I just sat there for 10 to 14 hours a day at a computer just teaching myself this shit. That's how I learned all this. March 16th, 2020, I could barely send an email. By the time we reopened, my ass could do. I am a one-man band. I have all my own podcasting equipment. I can travel anywhere and do the podcast with cameras and audio. I have all of it. So that's like when I'm like, if I have a guest in person that's not far away, we go to the comic strip and I set up the studio in the back of the showroom. It's all my shit. And I come home and I edit everything, and then I post it up and do whatever. It's like I'm a one-man band, but I learned all that in lockdown. That's what I taught myself.
I mean, that's why I'm just such a fan of Red Band. Like,
yeah,
because the tech side of things is it's everything really.
Yeah.
I mean, although like Ken Brennan's stream, like he does it every Monday through Friday. his is so low tech. It works for him though. Like,
yeah, but that's his brand though. You know.
Yeah,
that it goes with his brand. Like this is, you know, I mean, this is you know, I made my own logo, a little old school new school comedy of me dropping the mic of a cartoon. I made the background. I made all this stuff.
Oh, I mean, yeah, what you're doing is 100 times more than what I'm doing. I mean,
it's hard. It's a lot of. It's tedious. I want to kill myself half the time.
I mean, but it's like if people are looking at your show and then they see my show, they're going to go to your show every time because it looks better optically. You know,
yeah.
And like.
But it's also the content. Like, you know, it's not even about that anymore. Like with comedy, it's just about. It's about like what the content is. It's like half the time people watch podcasts and they don't even listen.
What? Yeah, I mean, I think
lockdown video was important because we were stuck on our computer.
Oh yeah.
But now, like we're in the car. I listen to podcasts at the gym now. I don't even listen to music anymore. I just listen to podcasts so I can get caught up.
See, I don't listen to podcasts because I don't want to steal any ideas. Like everyone told me, hey, you got to listen to Theo interview Ric Flair, but because I know Rick and he said he would come on. I don't want to hear one of Theo's questions and go, hey, I'm going to ask him that because then it's like, you know, so
yeah, no, I get it, but I don't listen to comedy podcasts if that's what you're.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
okay, you want to hear how gay I am? I listen to astrology podcasts where the planets are going to be. So I can navigate through all the fucking nut jobs out here.
I mean, I listen to RuPaul's podcast, but like,
I love him.
I love him, but the show has never been the same since he got rid of Santino Rice, who I was a big fan of. But I think he went rogue on RuPaul, and
yeah,
like RuPaul strikes me as the type that if you cross him, you're out.
You're done. Oh yeah, He's like the Harvey Weinstein, but his dick is so taped up his ass, he ain't fucking nobody.
I mean, well, I did meet him once at the Grove, and
the Grave. I missed the Grave.
It was a religious experience.
I love him so much. He's so adorable.
Because he was in a beautiful pantsuit, like custom made to the inch.
Wow.
And I just went up to him. I'm like, hey, RuPaul, I'm a straight man, but I'm your biggest fan. And he didn't say anything. He just mouthed, bless you, my son. I just turned around and walked away.
See, I want to be Michelle Visage. I want her job.
Oh, you could do that easy.
Because I couldn't be on the panel with them, like in Carson's place or in Ross's place, because I would upstage them and then they would have me killed.
Oh yeah, that strikes me as the type of show, and I think that was Santino's problem.
Yep.
Was he would always kind of rib Michelle, and I guess you could say she's ahead of him on the pie chart. Yeah. And you could tell she didn't like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah. It all works. You know, but it's like, but I love that show. I love RuPaul. I love drag. I love drag queens ripping each other to shreds. It's my favorite thing. We should do like drag battle, like get all the, you know, but they do that anyway. They go on tour, but it would just be kind of funny to have them on Rose Battle.
Well, I did that at, what was I was a judge on like 3 drag battles, and
amazing.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you, it wasn't that good because, I mean, the drag girls, they looked beautiful, but you could tell they didn't do the homework, and so it's just.
See, the old school drag queens are really good at reading.
Right.
They're so good at it because we had thicker skin. Nowadays, everybody's a look queen. Everybody has followers. Everybody wants to look pretty. Nobody wants to be funny anymore.
Well, I mean, I knew a girl, I won't blow her up, but she went on RuPaul's and she's like, I didn't watch the show, Earl. I just wanted some more Instagram followers. And she blew up. Like, she had maybe 2,500 followers. She went on the show. She's got probably 250 now.
Yeah, I believe it.
So that's like, I went to USC. What is 250 to 250,000 was at the 100 times more the followers you got.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
You went to USC. Did you get kicked out for gambling?
No, I'm not a pedophile. Let me tell your fans, I'm not a pedophile. I'm not a rapist. So that's why I go on at 1 in the morning.
Well, I didn't suck anybody's dick to get ahead, so that's why I'm in New York.
Yeah, but you are loved out here. Like, you know, everyone remembers you. I was talking with Barris about you the other night.
Oh, I love Don Barris so much.
And I mean, he's one of the last of the Mohicans at the store. It's all new comics, pretty much. Outside of Holtzman and Eleanor.
Yeah.
And then a lot of and there's a lot of funny. It's the best class of door guys and girls, door people I've ever seen up there. They're all funny, man. It's like,
that's fantastic. I love that.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and Emily is, doing a great job.
I've talked to Sean Pulofsky. I love her. And she's like, when are you moving back? And I'm like, listen, if I had a gig out there that I could bring in money constantly, I would move back in a second. Because I miss you guys. I miss the store.
I mean, it's tough. Yeah, I mean, I get why you're in New York. I mean, like, it's expensive out here. Like,
yeah.
To live, and like, especially, it's virtually impossible to make money full time and stand up alone.
Yeah, it's hard out here too. That's why, it's like, at least here, because I live in Midtown, so I'm centrally located. I can get to anywhere I need to go through a train. Every train is within like 5 to 10 blocks of me. So and that's that's Long Island Railroad, Amtrak, and the New York City subway system, and New Jersey Transit. So, and the PATH train. So everything is around me, so I can get anywhere. So I don't need a car, and I walk everywhere usually. I love walking in the city. It's fun. So you can live. This is one of the most expensive. The rent out here is so bad. It's insane. But you can live here on a bare bones budget and still get by, because you don't need a car or anything like that. You just got to pay rent.
I mean, that's the problem out here with like my insurance. I've never gotten in an accident in my life. I think one speeding ticket in '88. Other than that, it's a perfect driving record. And because of where I live, West Hollywood, my insurance is through the roof. Like, so I don't know how poor people live. I really don't. Like,
yeah, it's hard. I mean,
I'm not even rich, and like, but I don't have to worry where my next meal's coming from. But like, I went to the Steeler game a couple weeks ago at where they're playing the Rams, and it was $100 to park. The ticket, which was a decent ticket, $370. Food was probably, after, I think I had a burger, a soda, and an ice cream, whatever, swirly, and $75. Like, I don't know how poor people like that. I'm not even in my seat. I had spent $200.
Yeah, well, you spent $470 just getting in the park.
Yeah,
that's insane.
So, and like the guy in front of me was just a Hispanic family. It was him, his girlfriend, or wife, and 2 kids. Like, that's $1,000
right.
For one.
Insane.
For 3 hours of football. Like, so I get why people don't live out here.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I love you like more than anything. And one thing I was telling someone, I said, one thing about Earl, when I put out my album this last year, Brutally Yours, on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you stream your music. My shameless plug. You were one of the few people that actually said, bro, let's fucking promote it.
Yeah.
And it was like, that meant so much to me, Earl. So I just wanted you to know that, because so many people went fucking silent on me.
Of course, because they don't get anything out of helping you. Like, but they
She's
do.
Not sucking my dick, so fuck her.
Yeah, Like, do you know a New York comic by the name of Tracy Carnazzo?
That's my girl.
She's the definition of what you just talked about. She's the one who helped me get monetized on YouTube because I couldn't figure it out. It took me a month to finally go, I don't know what to do. Like, I did everything right and all that stuff. And then she spent hours on the phone and emails with YouTube. Hey, this guy, you know, they don't make it easy to get monetized.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
And somehow Tracy, she's just like, but she got nothing out of helping me. Like,
no, she just likes to help people.
Yeah. So it's just, plus she likes to talk shit on the DL. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, her and I go in. Yeah. When we're on the phone, we go in on things. But like, I needed, because I wasn't really good at editing videos or anything like that at first. So she hooked me up with that guy, Nick, and I love that guy. Yeah. He helped me do all the videos from my album. I said, here's an hour and a half of footage. These are the bits I would like to get clips of. And if there's anything else that you think is funny, make a clip. Just tell me how many. So I did 5. So I bought 5 clips. Fantastic. And I love him. And I asked her to produce this podcast. So because I needed help. And she's like, girl, I would if I could. But she has hers and a bunch of other shit. So, but she's like, I'll help you get guests. You know, I'm like, all right. But then, you know, everybody's kind of, it's been great so far. But no, Tracy Carnazzo is the real deal. She's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not that hard to help people. Like, you'll get back something down the road, maybe not even through them.
Yeah, it's energy. It's positive, and it's like, I love helping people when I can because it's fun. I get a real kick out of it. It makes me feel like I am in a position to help somebody. This is fucking great. That means I'm doing something right because I can help somebody.
Yeah, but, it's not like I helped you. Tracy helped me. At some point, I'll help. I think I'm trying to get Tracy her pictures from the Comedy Store when she was on the show with Tim Dillon. And
that would be amazing.
But it's you know, it goes back to all my bitterness about certain things in the past. There's enough. There's enough for everyone.
Yes.
We don't have to backstab.
No. But if we just look out for each other and help each other, because there's some stuff, I'll talk to you about it off record, because there's some stuff that I've been working on, like today it came to fruition, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about it off camera, a project. So, oh God, I forgot to mute my phone. So
you can take the call. I don't care.
Oh no. We got to wrap it up anyway, because it's getting towards the end. But I love. Okay, everybody thinks it's funny, but I think these 2 questions are funny, and I love doing them because they're silly. So the question number 1 is there a bit a comic has done that made you go, God damn, that's brilliant. I wish I had written that. Besides Holtzman.
I don't think I wish I came up with Holtzman's Oppenheimer tongue. Well, I will say Holtzman's, you know, and I don't want to give the joke away because you should all go see Holtzman wherever he is at. Trust me, it's worth it. His Weather Girl bit is...
His what bit? It froze for a second. His what bit?
The Weather Girl bit.
The weather. Yes.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've watched, and it's usually the Channel 9 news, especially when they had Jackie Johnson, who looked just like Bret Michaels, with like bigger tits. Like she's giving, and she's clearly a meteorologist. She knows her shit. And here's the cold front coming in, and this and that. I'm like, I can't take my eyes off your tits. I don't even know I don't even know you have a head right now. And I do wish I would have come up with, because it's not just one joke. It's like literally a 7-minute.
Right, it's a bit. That's why I say that's why I always say a bit that a comic has done. Yeah,
but he does it like the Ultimate Warrior did wrestling promos. Like, it's just the anger builds. At first, it's just like, what is it with these weather girls? And then 2 minutes later, they're all fucking whores. And then by the end of the bit, it's like, I don't have a goddamn boat, you dumb bitch. Like what? So.
Brian Holtzman. Oh, I love that man so much. I used to love his bit of that he had a gay son. Remember that bit from back in the day? I have a gay son.
Oh yeah.
Play ball. He runs and steals all the bases and fucks the weakest player in the ass.
And he has a. I don't want to say the joke. He has a joke about Louis C.K. that's pretty funny.
I bet it's so good.
It's definitely one that I wish I would have
gotten to first.
Just because it's so like that, his story about the two girls in the hotel room. It's so out there that any comic should have come up with this joke, but Holtzman's the only one that's
ballsy enough. Yeah,
100%.
But Holtzman's got the balls and just there's literally no filter on that guy, and he goes and crosses lines and goes to places that a lot of comics are afraid that they'll tiptoe, like they'll put their toe in the water to see if it's warm enough to jump in, like grandma, maybe splash a little on their legs to see if it's tolerable, and then they walk away because it's too cold. And it's not Holtzman.
Yeah, I mean, Holtzman, I don't think, he's just, it's like you just said, he just hits you over the head with the joke, and and he doesn't care. I'm sure deep down he cares, but like when he's saying it in that moment, you're either with him or against him, and he doesn't care which side you're on. He's doing the joke. Yep.
But the reason why he gets away with it, because like us, like people tell me, how do you get away with murder on stage? I said, because I come from a place of love. There's no ill intent in my delivery. There's no meanness in my, there's no, like, you can hear comics when they're angry or mean, and it's like, oh, you kind of get like a little uptight. You could tell when someone's really angry about something, and like it's personal, and it's like, dude, take a breath, man. Make it lighter. Have fun with it, and then you can say anything. But like Holtzman, he doesn't come from a mean place.
Not at all.
No, he's a big teddy bear.
Well, you hit it on the head. It's about the intent. Like one night I'm in the OR, long story short, and Jason Galern is in the back. And I do have a funny story about the first time I ever heard the N-word.
Okay.
But it's not, you have to say the word to, obviously it's a horrible word, but there was a huge black guy in the front row. He wasn't a pro football player, but he could have been.
Right.
Obviously 6'6", 300 plus. And
right.
Jason's like, hey, Earl, why don't you say that N-word story now? And the guy looks at me and goes, is it funny? I'm like, it's very funny. And he's like, you can do it, but you better make me laugh. So long story short, I tell the joke, and it's a story about when I played golf at Bel Air Country Club. I shot bogey golf on the front nine of Bel Air Country Club, which is very good for a non-pro golfer.
Right.
And I went to my uncle in the clubhouse. I said, Uncle Jim, I just shot bogey golf on the front nine of Bel Air. He's like, Earl, that's golf. So I didn't know what that word meant. So the next day I went down into the caddy yard, and my Uncle Jim was like beloved at the club because he tipped everyone really well.
Right.
I'm like, guys, guess what? And they're all black caddies downstairs, not one white caddy.
I'm dead.
I'm like, guys, my Uncle Jim just said I shot golf. And the biggest, blackest caddy, who was the size of a pro wrestler, was like, Earl, we love your uncle, but don't ever say that word again. I'm like, why not? And so, long story short, the big black guy laughed. So then I said, hey, I got about 8 more jokes that have that word in it. Can I say them? And he's like, no. I think, but he laughed at the story. The point of that was because he knew my intent wasn't that I'm racist.
No, it's all about intent. And Yeah, it's that. Yeah, it's just intent, people. Intent and delivery. Know who you are, and don't come from a shitty place, and come from love, and you can tell anything to an audience.
As long as it's funny.
Yeah, as long as it's funny, nobody cares. That's why I want to open up a comedy club. Marino and I were talking about it. Nobody cares. Be funny, and just
that'd be great.
Yeah, nobody cares. Be funny. I don't care what you identify as. If you identify as a chair, a blanket, a litter box, a boy, a girl, both, neither. Just be fucking funny. I don't care. Just be funny.
I mean, you can joke. I mean, look at that one rape joke that obviously rape's not funny in any capacity. But what was it? Daniel Tosh got into trouble at the Laugh Factory because he did like and ultimately the biggest crime wasn't necessarily the topic, but the joke just wasn't funny. Yeah,
because it wasn't funny. Yeah. So. Now, question number 2. We're all comics, and we all sit around green where we sit with each other on the road, try to make each other laugh, doing stupid street jokes. Paul Mooney used to close his sets with street jokes. That's how you knew he was wrapping up. But he would Mooney-ize them. You know, he'd add a Mooney twist to it. And he would destroy the room. And so, do you have a go-to street joke?
One that I don't do them, but my favorite one I've ever heard, I think well, probably nobody knows who this guy is, but legendary homosexual comic Tony Falcone. Like, everyone hated him up there because he was just so out there. I mean, you knew him, right?
I think so. I remember the name.
He was like, because he worked out at Gold's Gym where you worked.
Right.
Just, he looked like Liberace if he worked out. I mean,
right.
That.
Oh, I remember him. Yes, thank you.
He'd have a fanny pack and obnoxiously tight shirts. So I'm hosting potluck one night, and no one wanted to put him up because he was, you know, just it was a different era already. Right. I said, Tony, I'll put you up, but you got to do the joke. And he knew what I was talking about. So he has this joke where if there are 4 guys sitting together, and even if they're not sitting together, like as a group, they're sitting like next to each other. And he's like, you know, they say 1 out of every 4 guys is gay. 1, 2, 3, hello! It's just like this.
It's so dumb.
It's like so stupid. Or he would have another, you know, same setup. 1 out of every 4 guys is gay. 1, 2, 3, surprise! So, I can hear that joke 87,000 times. I'll laugh every time. Because he was oblivious as to how bad that hacky and stolen probably.
Yeah, completely hacked, stolen. Yeah.
That was, that's probably my favorite street joke.
That's hilarious. I love you.
I love you. I mean, you know, I just did like a 2-hour, my own stream before this. Anyone else said, hey, do you want to do my podcast after? I'm like, fuck that. I'm tired.
Right.
I would do anything for you.
I know. And I love you. And I'd do anything for you. And I'm just so happy that you're in my life. That's all.
100%. I mean, we're friends for life. And just for those of you wondering, we've never had sex or anything. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm saying, you know, because I think when comics are as close as you and I are, everyone automatically, they fucked.
Oh yeah, every time I'm hanging out with somebody that's a guy, you fucking him? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I know, you can't be friends with a female. It's like,
I know, it's like, shut up. What are you, 5? Hello.
Skakel, you put it in her ass. Hello.
Hello.
So
tell everybody, I love you. Tell everybody where they can find you, and if there's any shows you want to promote coming up.
This is the easiest part. I'm just Earl Skakel everywhere. And if you like cartoons, the Jellies by Tyler the Creator, which I'm the only white guy on the show. I play the father. You can get that on Adult Swim, HBO Max. Well, I guess it's just called Max. And the Cartoon Network. And then I'm at the Comedy Store. According to Kevin Brennan, it's the only club that books me. And he's right, to be honest with you.
Damn him.
I mean, that's why I couldn't go back at him. I'm like, he's got a point. Skakel only plays the store. He doesn't do the road. So if you're in LA, come see me at the Comedy Store. And that's it. I don't have a lot to plug other than my ass. Hello.
Good night. Hello. Love you. Surprise. I love you. Good night, honey. And that's our show, people. Don't forget to follow the podcast at Old School New School Comedy. And love us. Please follow the show. Please like the show. And don't forget to share this episode. We love you. Good night.